We checked out all 3 properties and we're back here at the main area where Noble Red is. And this is where we all started. This is the first video and the first location I shot in that video in RE that got Jeffrey to even consider coming to this place. It's a little food court. 30 steps outside of the condo that he's now considering getting. Great lunch spot. Lots of nice little food areas. And Jeffrey thinks this is also where the hottest girls are.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
I agree. We looked at a lot of locations, but we're here at Kari Kare. And I'm thinking I want that rice with pork cutlet curry. What are you thinking? This is reasonable, $2 to $3. Have you ever had it?
Yes. I'm gonna try it now.
Oh, you never try it?
No.
All right, 2. What do you think the youngest woman you can consider actually dating would be?
I'm probably I'm a very old-fashioned person.
Huh?
Over 40.
40? Oh,
If she was 30 or 35, what would I talk about?
same thing, I'm sure. Makeup, I don't know.
Britney Spears.
The latest Netflix show. I think women they pretty much plateau in their interests around.
How many years are you here?
Huh?
How many years are you here? 5?
Yeah.
Okay. You have so much, a better feel for everything. This is my 3rd time here.
Huh.
So, like you say, don't date for a year.
No, I said don't get a girlfriend for a year.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I screwed that one up.
Date right away.
Yeah. Often.
Yes, as much as you can. Oh, this looks good. $3, can't complain. This is cheaper than the malls I go to in Ramanai. Something like this. Oh yeah.
Good pork cutlet too. The dragon.
I don't want to spit in your face. All right. Dude, you need to learn how to eat like a Thai person. Picture this is a knife. Like you literally hold it like this because you're gonna cut like that.
Yeah, I already cut mine.
Well, it's already cut. That's why they don't need a knife out here. But to sort of think you're eating with a spoon, but you sort of scoop everything on there. You could eat it together or separately. Usually curry rice, you just eat it with the rice and the curry like this. Oh, good.
You like it?
Love it. But you don't need to mix it like that. Yeah,
I'm so used to doing it at home.
Man, I know you can eat a hamburger. You can eat one of these pieces. You know, all in. At least a 5,000 baht premium to live here.
Yeah.
You think it's worth it?
I gotta roll that around in my head
Oh,
and do the pros and cons. One thing is I didn't like walking 20 minutes to the BTS.
oh,
There's one situation, beautiful apartment, great view,
oh.
but I mean, it just killed me walking back to the train, to the BTS. I'm like, I don't want to do this every day. And they're like, well, there's a shuttle every half hour. Well, what if I don't want to wait a half an hour? It'd be nice to have a scooter here to zip around traffic.
Yeah. But honestly, if I lived here in RE, I probably wouldn't be driving a motorcycle. It took a lot for me to, at that point, risk my life to drive a motorcycle. Now knowing what I know now, I feel comfortable in it, but it took a lot, you know. People are like...
How many months before you got comfortable riding a motorcycle?
Actually not, I mean, I was already pretty comfortable riding motorcycles like in Vietnam, like through rural routes and stuff.
Okay.
Rural roads.
There's a whole different animal there.
Yeah, but in Bangkok, I would say it took me about half a year. In the beginning, my neighborhood is a lot less
Like,
crazy.
Yeah.
Just like imagine
What do
your
you mean
little
by a lot
store.
less crazy?
You see all these cars going by and stuff? Just open roads, little small soys. Honestly, the only way you're gonna get in an accident is you drive into a parked car, you know?
Yeah. All right.
So that's why I decided to get it. And then there'll be incidents like you sort of get sick of dealing with the taxis. So you're like, it's only 5 minutes. Let me do it. You do it like 100 times. Then you feel comfortable enough to go, what's another 10 minutes driving it?
Yeah.
You know? And then when you're driving, you're doing the motorcycle test, literally you have to drive on a raised platform this wide. That's how
That's
good.
the driving test?
Yeah. When you get sort of that good and you're maneuvering where it's almost like you're walking, then you get relatively comfortable. I mean, I feel just as much danger as walking down a soy right here with this car zipping by behind me and such.
I've hit mirrors already with people driving.
Yeah.
People driving by hitting me with their mirrors.
Yeah. I mean, it is sort of valid concern for people saying Bangkok roads aren't designed for civilians. Sort of
No,
true.
they're not. I almost threw a bottle through someone's windshield last time I was there in their car because
Oh yeah.
they just did not hit the brake.
Oh.
And it just kept coming and coming, and I raised my hand like this, and then they stopped.
Oh. In Asia, the biggest car has the right of way.
You see the difference? This is nice and neat. Mine's like a Polish stove.
I mean, some people like it like that though. If you are out here, you may have difficulties meeting people outside of the RE circle.
I can see that.
But that's only expats because a lot of Thais, the government workers, working professional, like women particularly, they frequent RE. So if you want to like sort of meet working professional women, I think RE is perfect. You're not going to have to venture off anymore. Like even men, whatever, government workers are here. And then the super local like Thais, they'll be right north of here and they'll be taking the BTS to La Prao. That's where Chatuchak is, etc. And even when it comes to going to touristy locations, you'll be going to like Khao San Road or Chinatown. This area is actually close. And even Siam Paragon, Siam, where basically every like
I like that.
Yeah. couple stops down, so it's convenient, but you're basically on the opposite end of the whole Sukhumvit expat crowd. You know what I'm saying? That's where it gets
Turkey.
But I mean, it's not that bad. Just hop on the BTS and you'll go there. It's just they won't come visit you here because you got other people like me. Because Sukhumvit is sort of the middle ground. You're here and I'm up here, you see, by Rama 9. And Hui Kwang and Sapan Kwai, which is the more gentrified areas that expats like. Those people and you will agree to meet in Sukhumvit.
I followed your video, and my first trip here, the second part of it, I came here and I stayed at a place that you visited for 8 days. Everyone I know in Bangkok lives here.
Uh-huh.
So that you were saying your RV circle of friends.
Honestly, I don't want to sound like a bugger, but my general impression is that as a retiree, I think the RE circle of friends is good.
You do?
This is how I see it. If I had to generalize, I'm really generalizing here, but
Fine.
based on my impression, you got the Sukhumvit expat crowd, and they're as expat as you can get.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a bit too much expat, you know?
It is for me because they're like whiny little babies.
I mean, let's not gentrify there.
Oh,
no,
right.
no, not everyone's like that.
I was being blunt.
Yeah, now you got the, yeah. Let's just keep it there. It's just too Western in Sukhumvit, right?
There's two answers. Their answer, which is the right answer, and the wrong answer, which is your answer.
Pretty much.
I've met them and talked with them, and they have such petty complaints.
Yeah.
Or they have these huge egos because they got these great pensions, and then they like to, to throw their weight around. I'm looking for a lifestyle. And waking up here, I haven't read a newspaper in 20 years, but I come here, I was getting a Bangkok Post every day.
I mean, the thing is, I find that the Sukhumvit expats, because they have everything there, and because they have the prime location to be able to insist everybody meets them there. Us RE, like Hoi Kong, Rama 9 expats, RE expats, even the ones that are in Siloam, we have to go meet them.
Yeah.
So they rarely venture out of Sukhumvit. And I'll meet people that have been living here for decades, and they're like, I've never been to RCA. And I'm like, oh, you've been here since the Vietnam War, and you've never been to the... It's like... But that's a Sukhumvit expat, right? They're very, like, proud to be a Sukhumvit expat.
Tell me what the Sukhumvit property lines are. Is it from Annut up to Nana?
Actually, I talk about this, but when they say I live in Sukhumvit, I tend to, and in my experience, generally means they live in Nana. Because anywhere else on Sukhumvit sounds more prestigious than saying Sukhumvit. So, let me set this straight, because a lot of people think I say Tonglor is a Haiso area. It is, but there is an even more Haiso area called Chitlom. If I said that, nobody really would know outside of the Bangkok circle, right? Chitlom, which is right in between Nana and Siam, right? No one really lives in Siam because those are all shopping areas. But that's where everybody wants to be, Siam, right? So the next closest thing is Chitlom, where all the embassies are. Highest real estate prices.
Right.
Old money. Then right after that is Nana, which they will call Sukhumvit. Nobody wants to say I live in Nana because it has such a bad ring to it, right?
Right, the red light district.
Yeah. Then you have Asom. And also not many people live there because there are mostly hotels there.
Right.
But you have Asom. And then further down you'll have Prampong and Tonglor, which are prestigious neighborhoods to be around. That's where generally all the established Japanese expats are, or the sort of the higher end.
That's Tonglor and Prampong?
Tonglor and Prampong, yeah. So, and then you have anything further than that, just going that direction is like, you can't afford Tonglor, Prampong, so you sort of venture out. Now, Prakanong, which is after Ekamai, now it's relatively prestigious in its own right, and it has like a very independent hipster culture there.
Yeah.
But then after that it's like on then you go into Bang Na area and such, and it's like at that point you don't really care. At least I'm sorry, maybe I don't care. It's like because I don't venture out over there,
Would you live in Ekamai or would you live here if you paid the same price?
At this point, I would live here in RE because Ekamai.
Is that where Amphitheater is?
Ekamai used to be what RE is. It's like the area where it's close to the city center, but it isn't the Sukhumvit city center, and it's not way out of reach like Chitlom, right?
Yeah.
So people like that area, and it's like, it wasn't so overdeveloped, so you do have single family residences and this sort of homely atmosphere. That's what RE is now, because Tonglor, it was just so hyped up in the last 10 years. Now it's way overdeveloped, and it's just going to be a bunch of gentrified condos now. So this place has character. But I would say it's already shifting where I can see this kind of area now starting up across the river where that Icon Siam area is in I believe it's Wang Wen Yai or whatever. A lot of the sort of hipster, in the know, like DJ friends I know and such, they like that area, you know?
What's it called again?
Oh man.
It's across from Sapan Taksin?
Across the river from Sapan Taksin, yeah, that area. Thonburi area, I think.
Bangkok?
No, Banghwa is way too far. Banghwa is way too far. Closer
I know
to the
a guy that
river.
works here. He lives in Bangkok.
Yeah, Banghwa is way too far. Now you're like going, that's like saying Nonthaburi or something to me. I don't even
That's
consider
far.
it Bangkok.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's a countryside somewhere.
So now the cool factor has jumped across the river.
No,
Officially.
I think this is sort of peaking up here now. This is a cool factor right here, RE. This is already done, ready-made. If I was renting, I would be here. If I was only looking at potential, I would go across the river. Because I think, especially with the development of the MRT, and Itsarapop becoming the next location, right next to the Grand Palace MRT station and the Chinatown stations,
Right.
I would try to get a location near Itsarapop. Although I think it's already, people already know that. They knew that there was going to be a station open there, so it's already priced high. But I would like that area. That's me.
That's the direction, though.
I think so.
Towards the river and everything.
But I mean, people are going to have differing opinions.
But did Icon Siam put the stamp of approval on it? Icon Siam, that really nice store.
Yeah.
If that wasn't there, would that area still be on your radar as a good place? Or?
Even before I knew about Icon Siam, that place was blowing up already. Yeah. It's like this. The way I sort of evaluate Bangkok is the same way I evaluate Seoul. Seoul, Korea went through pretty much the developing phases that I've seen, just in a faster manner.
Right.
So what happens is there's gonna be an independent hipster artist kind of district with all these little independent cafes and such. And people
That's
are
what
gonna
the old Chase is.
yeah, and people are gonna think that's cool.
Yeah.
But it's still very modern. I like this area. And then when that hype gets in, then the franchises come in and they'll buy up the most expensive real estates and just turn it into another gentrified area.
Right.
And then it loses its independent appeal. But that's when it's like people are being a cash cow and they're selling their land and making all their money, right?
Right, yeah.
That's sort of like Gangnam in Korea right now.
Okay.
Sort of lost its appeal. It's just a gentrified area, just like everywhere else.
One thing, I have to say one thing that, and this is a negative. When I first came here to RE, it was quiet, it was quaint, it was busy. But then at the end of the day, they went home. I come here 6 months later, stay in the same place, in the same room, and I cannot sleep because the traffic is insane.
Oh, yeah.
It's so loud with the motorcycles. Because of the street is a shortcut.
It's an echo chamber. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And
then the bar across the street that didn't do any business is now wildly popular, and people are outside screaming and yelling at 5 in the morning.
it's trending right now.
Yeah.
The young girls want to come here, take the selfies, be seen at the clubs here. They don't want to associate themselves with Tong Lor anymore because it's played out. It's gentrified, you know?
Right.
They want to be
That
the
makes a
next.
lot of sense,
yeah,
yeah.
they want to be at the next Instagrammable place, which isn't going to be a gentrified place. This is where it's happening. So that's why it's peaking. But as you can see, the price is high. So when everyone starts charging a premium price and the price is just overpriced at a certain point, then you got like you got old guys like you with the money coming in,
Yeah,
and that's the only people that can afford it.
it's true.
So where are the young kids gonna go? They're gonna go somewhere else where they can't afford it.
Where is the next one?
I'm thinking near Wangwenyai, that area.
Yeah.
That's my guess. Chinatown.
You invest a lot of time and effort in showing your subscribers the up and coming areas. Well, all the areas. You know, we could pick and choose. We could watch your channel, and it's like a library. Pick this one, check it out. Don't like it? All right, we'll go over there.
Yeah.
Maybe this is more for me. Maybe this is more my age bracket. I'm not going to go hang out in the neighborhood where everyone's 25, 30 years old. I'm going to stick out, and I'm going to look like a dirty old man, which I am.
Oh.
RE is a very mature place.
You didn't let me tell you why I think this area is a good crowd for you though. Sukhumvit is too westernized, too established expat, right? When you go to my area, it's gonna be young working professionals. They don't have much time to hang out anyway. They go to work, they do that kind of stuff. It's a very modern area, but it's very convenient because it's on the MRT line that will take them straight to Siloam, which is where all the big international businesses are, right? RE though, the people who live here because I feel like they like the vibe. Like the older people that live here,
They like
I
the
don't
young
know.
people here.
Yeah, they like the young people, and
It's like the tide's going to come in and the tide's going to go out, and we're still going to be here.
you're gonna find your chance of finding a retired local that speaks English is significantly high out here. That's also not like so busy and working and such, you know?
Yeah,
They're just chill people out here, you know what I'm saying?
very much so.
Yeah.
Very much
And
so. Yeah.
I think this is a good area for you. I mean, I don't think you would ever need to associate yourself with the Sukhumvit crowd or the Rama 9 crowd. Everything is sort of self-sustainable out here.
Self-sustainable. That's the right
You've
way
got
to
everything
put
you
it.
need.
Yeah.
And
Oh, absolutely.
and that's probably why these people here don't associate with us back there. It's like,
You know, it's nice to go to Sukhumvit for a night on a town.
and honestly, it's not that far. I mean,
You showed me this time. I had no idea how close it was. I was taking the BTS all the time.
you take the BTS from here to Asok. It's about the same distance as someone that lives all the way down in Onnud or whatever because they can't afford Asok.
Yeah.
So they go down that way. But here, it's the same thing. It's distance-wise, time-wise.
The way this neighborhood is spread out, as opposed to south of Asok, you're talking about Pampang. You know, you get your nice high-rise developments there, and they're beautiful places. But once you walk out of there, you know, you could be in a poverty-stricken street or something like that.
Anywhere you go out here in Bangkok, right around the corner might be poverty. Who knows?
And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's just here. You saw the beauty here. We saw 3 apartments. And you loved every pool area.
You know what though? I really heard my expectation for this area though. The buildings themselves, I think you're gonna find better value. Maybe in Hue Kwang, Sutisan area.
What was that next one?
Hue Kwang or Sutisan. Which is where like younger guys like us, where we're generally going to. Working guys. I'm not a working guy, but and that's why I say, darn, if I knew about it, I should have probably gone to a place out here in RE. I like just to chill. I mean, this is like the same place where I feel like I can wake up in the morning, grab my laptop, come out here, get me some $3 curry, and work on my project.
Yeah.
Rama 9, that area is more like I stay in my condo, I do all my thing in my modern, nice condo because you can get more bang for your buck. And then I go to the mall once in a while and watch my movie and go home. That kind of lifestyle. Sukhumvit.
You just probably brought up something. I'm trying to think. Where's the nearest movie theater here? I don't think there is one.
If you go to La Prau, I think it's 2-3 stations, Central La Prau. They got a big theater. And you can just go to CM. Yeah, CM Paragon is what, 2-3-4 stops?
Oh, where you live in Ramen 9. Can you walk to it?
No.
Alright.
Actually,
1 kilometer, 2 kilometers?
because the BTS is right here, you can take the BTS and go there. Even though the distance is further, it's probably more convenient than me.
Right.
I have a motorcycle, so it's about the same convenience. But if you didn't drive a motorcycle, it's more convenient for you to be here than to be living in RCA like me. You know?
Yeah. Coming out here this time, I had to go to Lumpini Park and stay there to see what it was like. Saladang. I love Saladang at night.
What? Really?
I love Saladang at night. You know, when everybody goes home from their financial district jobs and all the street stalls come out, all the clothing stalls, you know, the food and the clothing, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Maybe you will like Sukhumvit then.
Yeah.
You should try Sukhumvit.
I'm there now.
If you want a more local vibe, have you checked out Hui Kwang?
No.
You gotta. Hui Kwang is the only place where past 12 a.m. the night markets are still open.
Okay. Yeah, that's what bothers me about this area. The number one thing is the BTS closing at midnight, and I gotta get back.
Huh.
Well, I'm new out here. I don't know the bus system. I don't know the taxi system.
You said you checked out 11 other neighborhoods. One's gotta be Hui Kwang.
It might be. I maybe just didn't realize I was there.
Man, you need to go there.
You know what neighborhood kind of freaked me out was Bangkok.
What the heck? I don't even...
You know where that's at? Nobody knows where that's at. And it's right in the middle of everything.
Bangkok.
Bangkok.
Sounds familiar, but it's like...
It's a BTS stop.
Where is that? What station is it next to? No, isn't that where the land transport is?
Ekamai or...
Yeah. Right before Annut, or after Annut. Near Annut.
I got off of there, and I just saw some scary individuals. There wasn't a lot of foreigners there. And I took a big walk around the block. I was like, wow, if I was going to get stabbed anywhere in Bangkok, this is the place I was going to get stabbed.
I think you're more likely to get stabbed in Lat Prau based on the news reports, but...
You know, it's funny, I had stopped at, remember I told you I stopped at Bering?
Uh-huh.
And then there's Udon Sat.
Uh-huh.
I had stopped there, got off, walked around, and got back on the BTS. The next day, two motorcycle taxi guys were arrested for murder.
Oh my God.
Because they were illegal motorcycle taxi drivers. And they're like gangs. And one was fighting another, and these two guys stabbed two other guys and killed two people.
Maybe it could happen anywhere, though.
I'm like, what? This is Bangkok. Stuff like that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's very...
It was in the Bangkok Post.
If it did happen, it'd be very rare, and that's why it is on the Bangkok Post, you know? I mean, I've lived here, and I would say it's not violent at all. But I would say RE is particularly safe because, you see, that's the center of the city. And then there's this area where the palaces, the king lives, and all the government centers and the military headquarters are. RE is sort of in the middle of it. And that is why you have a lot of government office workers here. So you don't want to be accidentally committing crimes in front of a general's house, you know, like.
Yeah. The hardest part is deciding on where to lay, you know, where to put my luggage permanently for at least a year.
Nothing's permanent out here. That's why I keep telling people not to think permanent.
Yeah.
That'll just disappoint you if it doesn't go the way you expect it.
I was really disappointed with this realtor today. You know, going on the website I told you I went on and seeing all these apartments for rent, and then all of a sudden I'm told, no, they're not all for rent. They're just there for show.
I don't think they're any less reputable or more reputable. It's business is business as usual. But our realtor really tried. I think she tried her best to show us what's available. And
This one today?
Yeah. And I mean, you gotta also
she told me
empathize.
the truth, which was a shock. She was very truthful.
Yeah. No, she. These realtors, because I used to be in real estate business, loans and realtors. We know, like, she's doing everything completely free. You know, she 3, 4, 5 hours of her time. She showed us locations.
Yeah.
There is no like requirement for you to sign with her.
Yeah.
So there's no incentive for her to mislead you, and then later on you don't want to sign the bottom line. So they do their best within what's available, but you always have to read between the lines, obviously.
And she doesn't want any tire kickers. The scale of the neighborhood is what appeals to me. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's soy. It's just enough. It's not overly big. It's actually kind of small, and it's kind of nice. For people to notice me from walking down the road, and they saw me 3 months ago, and then someone calls me up and says, "Hey, the lady that sells roti saw you walking down the street. She wants you to know that she's in a new location."
Oh, wow.
And I get a photo of her in her new location online, the online app. Those are legitimate friends.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I've experienced anything like that living in Bangkok. You don't get that in most, because like you say, the scale's bigger. If I could go to Rama 9, Central Rama 9, I go there once every week minimum. I don't recognize the same people at all. Every time it's different people, different strangers. So that's why I say it's sort of not as personal.
You know what put my face on the map in this neighborhood is when I went and bought 10 lottery tickets on that main street there from the blind lady. And I went around, and the people I knew, I gave them each a lottery ticket, and I took a selfie with them. The massage parlor, I gave my favorite massage lady a ticket, and then I gave the whole massage place 3 tickets, and said, "This is for everyone. If you win, the money goes to everyone." So it was like a good gesture. So
I think that's brilliant. I mean,
that was a $30 investment.
That's not much of an investment to get some goodwill around here, for sure.
Good press.
Yeah,
the newspaper, they didn't even want the ticket. They're like, we're fine. We don't need this. I was like, can you please take it? Because I was going to give it to this woman I see that drives a motorcycle taxi. Yeah, I was going to give it to her. But I'm like, if her husband does it, I don't want him to get mad at me. So I held off on that. But there was a woman that helped me translate out here with the blind lady. She was so beautiful. I wish I could have ran into her again. She said she rents a condo here.
You keep talking about this lady, buddy.
Yeah, I know. I might have a picture of her.
You're gonna probably meet so many beautiful ladies around here. It's just
all you have to do is smile and go up and say hello.
Actually, you'll notice most of the women in their 30s and 40s in this neighborhood speak English. So yeah, you can literally just go up to them and say hello. and there's a good chance.
I might get a little bit of a shocked look, but they're gonna smile and they're gonna say hello.
Yeah. It's not like
that is the beauty of
that's the beauty of
Bangkok,
Thailand. Yeah. They're not gonna look at you like, why should I be talking to you? You know, what do you have to offer to me? Not that kind of. It's just everyone's just sort of friendly. Yeah. Oh, hey.
There's another YouTuber. He's got 2 little babies. He's a vegan with his wife. He's in Sri Lanka right now.
Okay.
And he told me if he was single, he'd be right here in Bangkok. he was a Muay Thai fighter.
Okay.
Back in the day. He's like 30, maybe when he was 21.
I would agree.
And he's Canadian, white Canadian.
I would agree. Bangkok is a great place for single guys.
But I mean,
people assume it's because it's like because we're coming out here to meet like working girls and like go like get prostitutes or anything. And no, honestly, that's not why.
That was the first thing I put when
Yeah.
My Facebook page went international when I came out here.
Okay.
And I told people, I even unfriended my brother because he made a really bad comment about purchasing women. I have friends out here, don't comment like that. And I told him to stop.
Yeah.
And he says, make me stop. So I unfriended him.
Yeah.
He's my brother, I still love him. But he's an asshole. But my first trip here, I had 6 legitimate friends.
Oh yeah.
Legitimate.
Yeah.
They're, the Line app, I never heard of that. All of a sudden I have it and I'm communicating with these people. In fact, what is today? Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I love about Bangkok. You don't know what day it is. Tomorrow, one of my original friends, I bought her a t-shirt. She doesn't make a lot of money. I felt bad for her. So she's a hardworking person. She works at the university by Soy Cowboy.
Sina Karin? Yeah, Sina Karin University.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a really nice university.
Yeah.
She works there, and she's going to meet me, and I'm going to give her the gift.
Oh, that's nice.
Like, how much do you want? I was like, I don't want anything, but I know they want to give you something. They don't want it for free. I'm like, if you want to give me something, but I don't want anything.
Oh, okay.
So, she wanted a shirt. It was very rare. In America, in August, the summer stuff goes out, and the fall stuff comes in. Well, she wanted a summer shirt, and then her friend who's a friend of mine, wanted 3 different things. And I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm shopping for women in America, which is totally backwards. I should be shopping here, and sending it back to the States.
Yeah. That's very
But that's how I network myself.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm gonna make friends, I'm gonna help them.
Yeah.
And if I don't want anything in return, but if I need a favor, if I need a translation,
they'll help you. Let's say you get sick, you need a recommendation for a hospital. They're gonna help you out. I mean, good karma gets good karma.
He's gonna help me out. If you're a good-hearted person and you like doing good things for people without wanting something in return, this is the best place to be. The best bang for the buck.
I can't disagree with that at all. I don't want to mislead people and say everyone's great out here, but
no.
I mean, that's a given. That's a given. Nowhere in the world is perfect, but out here,
you can't be trusting like that. You gotta have street smarts.
Oh yeah, I mean, but your average person out here, they have your best interest in mind.
I can't tell you how many times I fell asleep on the BTS, and they wake me up, and I walk out. And someone's waiting for me, wanting to know if I need directions where I need to go. And they're all women.
I know why.
It's like Christmas here.
I know why, because when I teach English, all my English students, they're paying good money to learn English from me, right? And I'm like, why don't you have foreign friends, Then you can have these conversations for free.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know where to meet them. So
how old are these students?
They're like 35, 40, some of them older.
Oh, I'm thinking students like 14, 15 years old.
So a lot of them are, but
But
it's
you
like,
have your 30, 35
yeah,
year-old
like
students.
doctors. It's like whoever needs to learn English, right?
Right.
The first thing they always tell me that they try to do though is try to find a foreigner that doesn't know the directions in the BTS. Every
Oh, I'm a
single one of
perfect
them.
candidate.
That's like a very common thing
Yeah.
guys do if they want to learn English and
But they-
practice their English.
So they admit that to you.
They told me that, yeah. And it's surprising that that's the thing they always tell me. Like, I'm like, what do you try to do? I mean, they can say many things. I try to watch Netflix and listen to it with, you know, like in English with Thai subtitles or with English subtitles, whatever. But
I met somebody that learned English by watching Seinfeld.
that I tell people to actually watch
Sitcoms. Yeah.
over action movies because who the heck speaks like Arnold Schwarzenegger? You know,
Right.
you're not.
And
I'll be back.
and I do have people that want to learn English, and they ask me if I'll help them.
Oh yeah.
But you got to make an effort and contact me, and I will help you. But if you don't contact me, well, then you're not going to learn English.
You're great because you're not charging. You got tons of time.
Right? And I'm like, I says, I'm not going to teach you English. I'm going to teach you American.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Or New Jersey.
The English that they teach out here is British based, and these kids are schooled in more grammar than I ever was getting out of college,
I believe
and
it. I believe it.
it confuses the crap out of them. How many tenses in the English language, buddy?
You got me.
You got like past tense.
3?
That's what I thought an American would say.
Yeah.
In the British system, there are 12. And every single one of them will know 12 tenses.
Huh.
Yeah. There's present, past, future. And there is simple, continuous, perfect continuous.
Amazing.
It's like, and I know it because I just speak it.
Right.
But they break it down into a freaking complicated mess of a science. And I'd be confused if I had to learn that too. So I guess that's sort of my specialty. Like I sort of break it down to them and then teach them how to actually speak. And I let the other teachers teach how to like pass an IELTS or whatever, you know.
When you need a bachelor's degree to teach out here?
With a work permit, yeah, but there are places that will just hire pretty much anybody, you know. But
Do you have to be certified by the kingdom?
you at least, I mean, even at the least, you still need to go to a TESOL certification.
What is that?
Teaching English as second something. A certification to teach English, basically.
I was talking with 2 retired guys today, New Zealand and Australia, in Saladang. I had coffee with them.
Yeah.
They said, don't even attempt to work out here.
I mean, I wouldn't discount
He
him.
was adamant about that.
Sounds like a know-it-all succumbent expat.
I don't know if he was. He's been out here 10 years.
I mean, but like, see, the thing I have an issue with people who are negative is they don't offer an alternative. What is his alternative?
Right. I'm like, this guy. See, where I come from, there's always a solution. There's always a way around.
That's how Americans are. You kick us down, we get up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like some cultures, not all Western cultures are the same. Some are you kick them down,
Go through the front door.
and then you protest and you ask for a handout. Kind of like, I don't know what it is, but to me it's like, I don't know. My view of the world, the way I was taught growing up, is you get kicked down, and you just keep getting back up, and you make it work. You know, like nothing is perfect. I don't expect things to be
I've been
perfect.
swinging for 58 years.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think.
And I have no intention of stopping.
Yeah, I mean, I would.
Retirement doesn't mean stop.
Yeah.
Retirement means I'm just changing direction.
Yeah. So I mean, what's the alternative? What else are you gonna do?
Right.
Like sulk in your condo and go out at night and drink your friggin'
That's too
depression
easy.
off? I mean,
Yeah.
what?
I go to a patio for that.
Yeah. You can join that crowd, you know. I mean, actually, Pattaya, there's a lot of, there's a whole economy over there. A lot of people sort of lump them into the same crowd as you would say like the reputation that the Nana crowd has, but just like the Nana crowd, most of them are just working professionals, etc. It's just
A lot of British.
there's a lot of Brits, French, everybody out here.
I'm just speculating that they all get a minimum pension when they retire, and
To be quite honest with you, I don't know how the British. I think Americans have it the best. I think our Social Security is the best.
You think so?
Like straight up. But most older Brits, just like the older Americans, they're part of a union or something, so they get a little nice payout. But a lot of the established expats here came out. I think this is why there's a lot of negative expats. They came out when it was like right after the Vietnam War, and it was the Wild West out here. You could like just being a freaking Westerner, start a random freaking bar, you know, soy cowboy or whatever,
Right.
and you make a ton of money. I mean, they're like, why not? And then they've been out here for decades, and the world sort of moved past them, you know.
Yeah.
And they're complaining every year, like, why do I have to do this and this and this and this? But me, coming from an already developed Western world where I have to deal with these kinds of bureaucracy and BS all the time, I'm like, what do you what's the alternative, you know?
I want to bring up another point when you're done.
What?
The British pound compared to the Thai baht.
Oh,
When was it 70 baht to the British pound? And now it's 34 and change.
let's just say
That's a kick in the nuts.
I
Was it 10 years ago?
if I was British, I'd probably finding all sorts of ways to take out my frustration on something, you know?
Yeah.
And they know this whole Brexit issue is hurting them. I'm not supporting or against Brexit or whatever. That's their issue. But whether or not they support it or not, they realize the freaking impasse right now is what's hurting them.
But even before Brexit, where was the British pound?
If you look at it, the British pound was sort of going down, and actually surprisingly, after Trump got elected and the whole market in America went up, the British pound went together.
Yeah.
And then it just took another nosedive, and it's like the third the value. Us Americans, it was like, even I remember, it was like 35 baht to $1 at its
That was
highest.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember
and
that.
now it went back down to 30, but it went back up to 31 again. It's not that bad. It's not like a third of the value, you know what I'm
It's
saying?
29 to 31, and that's the range right now.
Yeah. But honestly, these people, I'll tell you what, people are probably going to hate me for it, but the truth of the matter is, these people that complain, right? They're the same kinds of people that complain, you're crazy to have bought a condo in Bangkok. They are the ones that will tell everybody else the negative and not offer a solution and say, don't buy property. So what's the alternative? Rent. You're smart to be renting. Invest in British stocks. I don't know what they told them to invest, you know?
Yeah.
You're gonna get a better return. And it's like, now they're priced out. And then they're complaining and they're faulting everybody else for raising the prices of the condos to a ridiculous value that they think is ridiculous. And they can't admit they should have freaking bought a condo if they've been living here for the last 30 years or something.
Well, the lady you filmed, Rest RE, she went to a British boarding school, and she, just the other day, she was telling me she wished the British pound was this week when she went to school 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Her father was paying for student loans.
The fact of the matter is, inflation happens everywhere.
Right.
And
That's why you buy real estate. Am I right?
it's just economics. People just don't understand the basics of economics. And simple-minded people just think because it's not what I think I want to pay for it at this moment, they can't see the future value of something. I'm not saying there isn't a risk to buying a condo. I'm not telling everybody to buy a condo either. But it's like, where did you park your money?
Right.
If you parked it in British securities,
Do you remember when people were?
then it's because you're expecting to go back to Britain. That's why you're domiciling your money there. Me too.
Exactly.
There's a certain, my retirement account I still keep in America, right? My small little measly 401k, what have you, because
Right. But it might not be small measly one.
the way I see it is I've already accepted, shit hits the fan, I'm going back to America.
Right.
But there's expats out here that wanted to live out here forever. I don't understand why they didn't buy property out here 30 years ago, because they would have made a killing.
Yeah.
I mean, the people they probably thought were all stupid, the locals that were buying land and buying property at ridiculous values 20 years ago, are driving around in Bentleys.
30 years ago, there was no BTS station here.
No, but
This was a dirt road.
whatever, yeah. Like Tung Lor, they say, was a little farm area.
Yeah.
It's like, you're crazy to have bought property. And those people, like, I'll tell you most of the rich people you see around here, except for the super chosen few that operate big corporations, they're relatively rich because they just own the piece of land or property. That's just...
And they always they own as much as they can. The woman we know
Yeah.
that's her parents' place.
Yep.
And she's got 2 other condos.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you look...
Not just in Bangkok.
If you look at it 2, 3, 4 years down the road,
Right.
I mean 20, 30, 40 years down the road,
One thing
it's a no-brainer.
One thing I worry about as far as currency devaluation with the American dollar is if China goes in the tank and people look for a place to do their banking or to set up industry, and I see Vietnam, I see Thailand, and then when those economies both go strong, then it hurts the other currencies.
It's not as simple as that, but oh man,
We're so used to 30 years of China being a superpower. We're not used to the next 30 years of them declining. And other people coming in and saying, hey, we could do it cheaper than them. Why don't you set your factory up here? Bring your ships here. We'll build you a nice harbor.
it's not as simple as that, because China was smart enough to siphon off technology.
True.
So they are industry leaders, and they have the engineering and the means to now be the people employing the other countries to do that. So it's not that simple, but
Never say never.
this is a whole new topic. I don't even want to go into it. It's too difficult. But it's like,
It is a lot of
at the end of the day, it's really hard to predict which country is going to do better than the other. But historically, if it's a developing country, it's going to inflate and the prices are going to go up, and it's going to modernize at a faster pace than a country that's already modernized, because the only way to go from down here is up, right?
Right.
So that's what I saw. Like, I'm in the States. It's hard to like get ahead. As a young guy, I'm like, hey, if I grew up in the 70s and shit and everything was great, yeah, I'd be like going around like these old folks going, you millennials, you complain, blah, blah, blah. But they didn't have to, go to college in the dot-com crash and then get into the job market with the '07 crash. I mean, they don't know how hard it is for us, So I'm like, I could clearly see with my knowledge of Korea, because I see other Koreans that just became instant millionaires for owning a freaking apartment building in some random area called Gangnam, right? Or like just owning a old like office building. All of a sudden they're like multi-millionaires. I'm like, there's no that's where the opportunity lies. People discount those areas because 20 years ago you look at Korea like, why would you invest in there? Hyundai cars. Remember, like 20 years ago, people would laugh at Hyundai cars, right?
Even Hondas in the 70s. Hondas were notoriously
Oh
bad.
yeah, but
They used to rust, bad paint jobs.
oh yeah, and I'm like, so where's the only places that could possibly give me a price arbitrage, where my American dollars is gonna buy me more, you know? Right now, I can't buy a condo outright in America, right? So I was like, oh, let's go to Korea. And I realized Korea is even more inflated than America. I go to Vietnam. I realized, you know what? Even though it's still developing, prices for condos there aren't any cheaper than in Thailand. I come out here and I'm like, maybe it's not the best investment, but I'm gonna have to pay rent anyways, and I'm gonna break even just in rental costs. I'm like, 15 years, 20
Your
years.
video on why you bought and why you live in Bangkok, I watched that video 12 times. Easy, easy. Because you put it so simply on why you made the right decision of buying a condo out here. How much in value did your condo go up? Did it double? Did it triple? Or is it the same?
It's definitely not the same. I mean, okay.
I'll tell you, my house went up 40% since Donald Trump got elected. 40%.
It's about that much, I would say. I got mine for 1.7 million.
Right.
And if I looked at the same square footage, the same floor, all of that,
Right.
then I'm looking at being able to get about 2.34 million. But it's like, there are factors into that you can't comprehend as an American, because although yours appreciated by 40% in America, you are paying state taxes.
Local
You
taxes.
are paying probably like homeowners association dues, blah blah blah. You probably didn't buy it all cash, so you're paying.
No, I borrowed
You
money.
bought it all cash.
Well, no, I borrowed money.
Oh yeah, so then you're paying
I
interest.
put 5% down.
Yeah, you're paying interest.
Yeah.
If you do a calculation, you pay the price of your house at least one time over in the amount of time it takes for you to own it. And even after you own it, you're still paying ridiculously high taxes,
As
right?
a typical American,
Yeah.
we look at our monthly payment,
Yeah,
and my monthly payment is less than what I would pay in rent.
yeah. Over here, the calculation's simple. What you pay, that's it. You don't pay property taxes.
But see, you couldn't explain that to another American. That blows our mind.
That would, because everyone, you believe you always have to pay taxes.
Yeah.
You know? That like,
Property taxes.
it was like, what, really?
Yeah.
How do you, it's like, no.
You know, where I live,
Yeah.
having a $10,000 property tax bill is starter market.
It's a killer, because you're also not considering, you might have bought a freaking house in Orange County for $50,000 in the 70s, but the price of the house appreciates to 300,000. So you're thinking, okay, I'm only paying 1.25% taxes. But 1.25% of something that just, increased in value sevenfolds, and you're actually paying 7% of your initial purchase cost every year, then it's like, in 15 years, you're paying the value of the property that you originally, is ridiculous. But here, all the appreciation is yours, and you're not paying property taxes for it. It blows it's significant savings, So that's why it significantly lowers my risk factor, because my overhead is significantly lower here. And I can just do a simple calculation and go, you know what? I will break even in 15 years. But that's not even true, because as you can see, in the 5 years I've lived here, prices of rent went up 10-15%. People are complaining this is ridiculous, but it's like, that's why you hedge yourself against that by buying a condo,
Right.
And I'm here laughing at those people that were laughing at me back then, saying I was crazy.
How much money did you save a year by not paying rent?
By not paying rent. Let's see.
$6,000 a year? Yeah. And I'm being generous.
13,000. Hey Siri, what is 13,000 times 12?
That'd be
156,000. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, let me see how long it'll take for me to pay off. Hey Siri, what is 1.7 million divided by 150,000? In 11 years, I will break even the cost of what I paid. I'm already 5 years into it.
Yeah.
So another 5 years, after
But
that, it's just total savings for me.
As an outsider, I look and I see, well, why is that 25 square meter condo selling for 3 million baht? That's outrageous. But they're getting snapped up.
Well, nowadays it is sort of, I mean, I am gonna say nowadays the prices even seem outrageous to me, but I'm sitting at a high point when I bought it for 1.7, so.
Right, so, all right.
Yeah.
You feel comfortable now because you have appreciation. It's a nice feeling.
Now everything is an appreciation.
But
yeah.
if your home was only worth 1.5 million, but it'd be a different story. I remember before Trump got elected, and my neighborhood was nosediving. There was no bottom. As soon as he got elected, everything that was on the bottom, that the lowest cost houses, they all got snapped up because that's where the.
See, this is how I approach where I park my money. Don't approach it as, is this thing good value? That's not how I approach it.
Right.
I approach it like, what are all the alternatives that I could do with my money, and what is the investment I'm most comfortable with?
Exactly.
I wouldn't have invested in here even 5 years ago if I was just basing purely on, is this a safe investment? And there's just, it's not. Like, even at that point, even my Thai girlfriend is going, I don't want to buy a condo because the prices are ridiculous. And she's Thai. She made a report at Chulalongkorn University doing her MBA, arguing that right now is the worst time to buy condos.
Right.
And
well, I mean, everything in life runs in a cycle. You got your highs, you got your lows.
Oh yeah, I mean,
so where are we at in the Bangkok market?
you can't time that.
Yeah.
Even back then, I was expecting it. You know
Time
what?
it perfectly or
No,
time it?
you can't time it. I didn't buy it thinking I'm definitely going to make money on it. I'm just thinking like this.
Why did you pull the trigger?
I'm thinking, even if I don't make money on it, I plan on sitting on this property and using it for myself. And I know historically, rental prices are less volatile than sell price, the price of the home that is being sold at.
Right.
So like, even if the property market drops 30% in value, rental values aren't gonna drop. It takes a little while for it to do that, right? And I'm thinking, if there is such a catastrophic event that home prices in Thailand are gonna hit 30%, right? Rock bottom. I'm looking around the world, China, and all the other countries that Chinese are investing in, America, Canada, Australia, and I'm like,